with you. So the next would be the obvious spring practice. And I delved into a few different articles, and the overriding theme from, again, I know the fan base is so desirous and craving information and intel and all that. But you got to understand, most of the people that get to cover these spring practices, they go in, they see guys stretch and jog around a little bit and mess around a little bit, and typically don't see a lot. But there are then, as we go along, video clips that get out there and so forth. But it seems as though, based on what I gathered, that the wide receiver core was rather impactful through the first day or so.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to Miami for opening up practice a little bit more. Through the beginning of spring, they've, listening to the podcast and reading things from, and talking to some people who went, they were allowed to be there for like 7-8 sessions or sections of practice, which is way more than just like, okay, stretching and then we're out, So first of all, number one in your program, number one in your heart, Cameron Ward, starting quarterback, is the guy. Like, he just looks to have the it factor, man. He has as big an arm as Tyler Van Dyke, or just about, but, he's elusive. He's able to use maybe a couple more passing angles, and just seems like he fits. And look, the first 2 days are, helmets only. So it's not full contact. And I mean, not like the quarterbacks are going to be full contact. No, like, leave him in bubble wrap all the way to the season. Like, like, absolutely no live scrimmaging for the quarterbacks. No. But through the first couple of days, yeah, Cam Ward absolutely looks the part. And again, we don't know what the number is, but if he plays to the level of his talent and ability that we have seen demonstrated, regardless of however much, NIL or whatever it is, like, if he plays to that level and Miami wins 10 or more games regular season, it's a steal at twice the price. Like, that's the impact that this guy can have. And he's unquestionably the number one quarterback going in. And yeah, receivers are doing big things. I saw the first clip, or one of the pictures, somebody put it up on Twitter. Isaiah Horton, now wearing jersey number 2. He seems to have put himself in a spot to take a big step forward. Like, he's every bit of 6'5", looks like he's up to 205 or 208. Like, I mean, he is not the string bean that he once was. And yeah, looks bigger, faster, stronger, quicker. I know it's only, a 60% route, 60% speed on air, but he cuts a different silhouette now. Xavier Restrepo, honestly, now, I heard Cam Ward say that Restrepo is going to be a top 5 receiver in next year's NFL draft. While I think that is maybe a bridge too far, you'd be hard-pressed to find many more impactful receivers at the college level next season. And is he the biggest guy? He's 5'8 3/4, maybe 5'9". Is he the fastest guy? No. But he's a dog. He doesn't quit. He plays on all the specials. He's pretty much uncoverable in the slot. And he's Colombian Hunter Renfrow. Like, kid was uncoverable, and everybody's like, who's this used tire salesman out here? And he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to go put on a Clemson jersey, route you up, and catch touchdowns, and go to the league and do the same thing. And Xavier Restrepo is going to be one of those guys, and it doesn't matter that it's a different quarterback who was not his former roommate or whatever. If he keeps getting open, keeps making plays, and apparently he had the catch of a lifetime in practice today, which was a slot fade, kind of tracking it over, the top of the helmet against Michelle Powell, the the nickel safety transfer from Washington, like double toe tap, corner the end zone, quarterback, dropped it right in the bucket. And apparently, like, yeah, it was like everything that I saw, heard, and read. Everybody was like, yo, best thing I've seen. Like, D Money from Kane's Insights. Like, I've been going to, or he says he has been going to Miami Hurricanes practices for 30 years. And there's pictures of him with Jesse Armstead in college on Green Tree and da-da-da. He's like, 30 or more years that I've been coming to practice, ain't never seen anything like that. David and Gabby on the 247, the Inside the U podcast, where they talked about it for 4 minutes. Like, everybody who was there was like, that was incredible. It was one of the greatest plays that we've seen, period, ever from anyone in a Miami Hurricanes practice. And again, with guys who've been there more than a little bit, right? So if he's able to do that, I mean, look, he keeps making plays. He comes back off of a 1,000-yard season. Yeah, he's a fifth-year senior, but like, why would I think that? I mean, obviously, despite maybe the distribution changing a little bit, but the quality of his performance and addition to the offense should be the same. And I haven't even gotten to the prize of the class at wide receiver, JoJo Trader from Chaminade. And he's a guy who is so incredibly skilled. Like, during the All-American game practices, like, he'll just do these trick catches and these super athletic things and whatever. And the other receivers at the All-American game were like, yo, JoJo, teach me how to do that. And JoJo is kind of like Michael Jordan, the coach, who was really, really terrible. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. I just do it. But he's doing things like that. He had a couple long touchdowns in the couple first days of practice. Again, multiple people citing long touchdowns today during one-on-ones, which is something that the people who go to practice usually don't see, the one-on-one periods, but they've been able to see that. You got Nye Carr making plays, working mainly as an outside receiver, not slot. Robbie Washington, Ray Joseph making plays. So, yeah, it seems that, like, the offense is substantially in front of the defense. Now, Miami is missing Damari Brown at cornerback due to a minor injury right now. Robert Stafford also out at cornerback. So, a couple of the guys who you figure will be, at least Damari, he's competing to be cornerback one. Honestly, Robert Stafford might take a step forward, but them not being there, yeah, there's maybe a difference in quality. But the passing game seems to be something that Miami can and should lean on. And will in the spring. You're missing Mark Fletcher, who changed his number back to his high school number of 4 and will be the number 1 running back. But yeah, a lot of good things. And you're still missing some other guys. Both Maui Noah brothers are out after minor procedures in the off season. So you're seeing some guys shuffle around. Pancake Honcho, Samson Okunlola getting looks at first team left guard right now. And, he'll move around a little bit. Matthew McCoy will move around a little bit on the offensive line and everything. But, yeah, it's early days in spring. There are some guys who are sitting out. The more athletic guys on the roster are going to – that's not something you can turn off. So, like, in shorts and a T-shirt, I'm just more athletic and bigger than you, so that's going to pop. I'm interested to see how things develop throughout. But again, really the spring is for, number one, always no injuries or as few injuries as possible, and really leaning into all of the development of everyone. I don't necessarily need to just push on what you do well. We need to now address some of those gap areas. We do the gap analysis, find where our, areas for improvement are, focus on those so that, when it goes through the summer, you're able to work on those more so that a better, more well-rounded player shows up in July going into August than is in front of us right now in March.